What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 39 of Unfinished Business. We're going to recap the Idlewild Open. It's something LWS has something to do with it, and we're just going to yap. We got some questions. We're going to talk, but I'm going to pose a question to you guys first to kick us off. Was it idle or was it wild, in your opinion?
I always start first, so I'm not starting this week. I refuse.
You literally just contradicted yourself.
That is true.
That is true.
Well, I'm not going to do it to our audio listeners for 5 seconds of silence.
All right.
Yeah, somebody's got to take the ball here. Was it
was
idle
wild.
or was it wild?
It was wild.
It was wild.
Or no?
It was wild, dude.
Good wild.
Good wild.
What made it wild to you guys?
Not as much like Girls Gone Wild, but kind of maybe Boys in the Hood wild.
Or maybe Boys in a Bucket Hat wild.
Yeah. Or maybe Boys that look slightly Mennonite wild. I don't know.
Who looks slightly Mennonite?
Both the Robinson brothers, in my opinion.
Get out of here, dude. Oh my gosh.
Bro, how did they not?
Do you even know what a Mennonite
I lived next to a billion of them. Yes.
Yeah, they were in the caves with the Zubat.
All right, hold on. Everybody chill out.
Holy
Everybody hold on. Everybody chill out.
Yo.
Whoa.
I told you we are going to be starting off hot.
All right, hold on. What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 39.
We can't actually be restarting right now, are we?
No. That stays.
So anyway, Joseph Anderson won. Joey Buckets got a breakout win. If you saw our picks, we're all stupid because we all picked people that won before, and you never win Idlewild twice. That's just the rule of Idlewild. Should have known better. I think, honestly, what made it wild for me is just Isaac Robinson crumbling and falling apart on 3 holes in a row. Hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
I texted you guys. I'm like, dude, what happened to Isaac's? I need an explanation. And then I went and saw the coverage, and I was like, oh, he wasn't even throwing that good before he had those 3 holes. He got really lucky, I think, the 2 holes prior with his lines. Mm-hmm. And then, it seems like the grip.
It almost seemed like he was trying too hard to throw farther than he normally does. So everything was ripping right.
I think it's just the way, if you look at his form, he has kind of jerky form, and it looks like it'd be really easy to, like you're saying, Corey, put a little too much power into it instead and just pulls it over. And it happens on repeat.
But if you look at the shorter holes, that one where his disc went under the riser in his practice round.
Yeah.
Those kind of holes where it's 250, 300, he's got it locked. Anytime he feel like he needs to throw it farther, everything's going right. So
yep.
Hey, fun fact. Who won the dark horse this weekend? Does anyone know?
No.
I don't know yet.
Jamie, you got that?
I'm looking at it right now.
I'm working on it. You're looking for
nobody picked Joey Buckets. I can tell you that much.
Either Big Germ, Austin Turner, Long.
Oh, I think Austin Turner played well.
Or Matt Bell.
Matt Bell. You guys aren't gonna believe this. Austin Turner, Matt Bell, and Calvin Lundquist all tied for 43rd place.
No shot.
So I don't even know. What do we do?
Nobody gets a point, I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody gets a point.
Jeremy Colling's a 1
I think everybody gets a point, but whoever picked Jeremy Colling. I mean, if they tie on the podium, we both get a point, right?
Yeah.
I guess
I still get a point though for Calvin.
You do get a point for Calvin.
You get a point for Calvin.
We all win.
Fine. All right, I'll put a point on the board for everybody.
Let's go.
Hooray!
Matt gets 2 points though because he got Ezra Robinson right.
Yeah.
Shout out to who was also tied in 43rd, Anthony Barella. What's going on with that man?
He's poop.
He's
Average 10-14 for the tournament.
He's just streaky, bro.
And he's not going to post anything on Instagram. Here's the thing: if he's not in it round 1, then he's like, screw this tournament, you know?
Yeah.
I do think that's a fact.
Corey,
what did he shoot round 1?
Am I crazy, or is Big
Not
Arm?
good.
Me and Corey played Idlewild recently. Is Big Arm
under.
distance not really that big of a deal on Idlewild? There are 2 or 3 holes I can think of. The rest, all pros are going to be able to throw at 400 feet. I feel like they don't get much by throwing at 550.
Can I say something about big arm distance? I don't think big arm distance is actually a thing anymore. Like who do you look at and say, because this person gets the advantage over almost the entire field because they throw long?
Anthony Brella on really open, like 700-foot par fours.
He's the only one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I feel like none of the holes
But
on this
No,
course.
I think you're right. Where like the floor of pro distance has come up so much, like it's hard to really truly have an advantage with it.
But that's what I'm saying. There was no shots in my head other than one hole when we played Idlewild and we played the Pro Tour layout where having 550 distance over 450 distance mattered. Corey, can you think of any?
What hole was that?
The really open hole we played. That's the big one that I can think of.
The one that has the LWS like spray painted on the grass.
Yeah,
that's probably it.
That's it. So, I think a lot of that shows. But yeah, that's the only one I saw.
And maybe hole 1 if you really want to try and go for the eagle, but a lot of people,
if you
especially on coverage,
were
just laying up. Yeah.
Yeah. 116 and was it 17 or 18 we played, Corey, where if you got to the end of the beginning of the tunnel, you could have pushed it all the way to the basket. I don't remember.
18. That's the one that Joey almost threw in from like a standstill.
Yeah, that was sick.
Yeah.
So Idlewild has produced a different winner like every single season. Is Idlewild, and like you could say that almost about Waco, and Waco is like I could do without Waco, but like Idlewild is a different beast. Is Idlewild just luck, or is it just producing a different winner every single time because of the style of golf?
I think it's a style of golf in my head. Like I said, I don't think having 550 versus 450 distance matters as much there. And it's straight up just who this weekend is hitting their lines 100% of the time.
Yeah.
And that's their winner.
Yeah. I think it's just a course where like it's easy. I mean, we saw it with Isaac. It's super easy for your luck to run out if you're a little bit off, like just because it's so demanding down the stretch as well, where like I think mentally that takes a toll on you, but like you have to really be puring everything to win.
I agree.
Yeah. I'm just thinking like I haven't heard anyone say anything negative about Idlewild. It's like, why haven't we looked at having a Worlds here?
Actually, to be honest, the one thing that I could say about Idlewild after playing it a few times is some of the holes are a lot shorter than you think.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Which is very interesting. Like hole 2, usually you see some rollers and stuff. That little like pond, like stick out that you have to throw over comes in very quick.
Yeah.
So I'm very surprised that like Gannon and all them are throwing rollers to try and get as far up there when you could just hit water immediately.
The hole that Isaac eagled, I cannot remember the name of it. I thought I sent it to Corey because we had played it. Like, really short hole. Only reason it's a par 5 or par 4 or whatever is because every shot, like it's impossible to make a disc do that unless you get lucky.
Isn't it kind of start uphill a little bit or no?
I don't know what we're talking about.
The par 5 on the back 9, maybe hole 15 or 16. Maybe 14 or 15. 15. I'm thinking it's 15.
Yes, I think it's 15 because isn't that where Isaac went out of bounds twice?
Okay, so we're talking about the LWS spray paint.
No, 16. It's hole 16.
Is that what we're talking about?
Oh no,
the big open.
Yeah,
it's open. It's open field, and then it goes into the woods,
like down in the woods. Yeah.
And it has like a little creek in front of it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Sorry, we know the whole.
Has a creek in front of the putting green.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would think it goes like starts slightly up and then it goes downhill.
No, it's it's like a ravine.
Okay.
So you throw basically straight to that flat spot, and then depending on how far you get up there, you either throw another shot downhill or you throw just straight to the basket. But
yeah, just to put a little bit of like a weirdness on Isaac Robinson, hole 15, he double bogeyed. Only one person that cashed got bogey or worse on that hole. So all he had to do was par that, and that would have put him right back in the mix. But one thing I want to highlight real quick is Calvin had the lead at one point and lost it again. So I am definitely still in the boat of Calvin cannot finish. So I'm hopefully I'm saying that so he can win Worlds, because last time I said that, he won 2 tournaments after that. So
that's true.
He's not a good. I don't know, man. I don't know what's going to take for this dude to like, he had it and then he lost it immediately as soon as he got in the lead.
In a similar vein, blanket question: do you guys think Benjamin Callaway is ever going to win?
No, and I'm sad to say it.
Because he was really close to that one tournament this year, but he seems to always shoot well through like 1 or 2 rounds, but just fizzles out.
I don't know.
It's consistency for him. He shot 10 under and then he shot 3 under. And if you want to win, you got to be shooting 1050 rated rounds or higher.
Yeah,
I mean that's just where we're at in disc golf. Like Joey Anderson, 1054 for the event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, he went 9, 9, and 10. Very consistent.
I will say too, one thing I like to see for this tournament was Ezra really put a lot of pressure on at the end of that round. I think it was hard for it to be realized into actual pressure because the lead card wasn't very far behind the chase card by the end of it. But I mean, if Ezra birdies, he got the last 5 in a row, and then 8 of the last 9. If there was some more distance between them, and like Joey knew he had to shoot a number to like hold on to it. Talking about Ezra and when he's going to win one, he seems to always struggle in final rounds. I thought it was encouraging to see him really not only put a last round together, but a last like 9 holes together like that. Getting 8 of them, pretty crazy.
Yeah, he just got a dry spell in the middle of that last round, but his issue has been starting these final rounds well, and he started off, with 3 birdies. So I'm definitely in the camp that if somebody's going to be the next first-time winner, it's got to be Ezra. It's crazy to think that out of all the golfers from Georgia, that Joey Buckets would get a first win over Ezra Robinson.
It's crazy to think that Ezra Robinson would get a first win over Ezra Aderhold.
Ezra Aderhold won Las Vegas.
Oh, well, Las Vegas, sorry. I not first win, but I should say like recently. Every time I keep saying Ezra's going to do well somewhere, and then he doesn't do well somewhere.
Ezra Aderhold, a known Georgia golfer.
Not a Georgia golfer. Sorry, unrelated to his thing.
Matt, come on, man.
Come on, man. My bad.
Also, is that facts? Did Ezra win? Sure. I don't think Ezra won, right?
Ezra Aderhold has won Las Vegas. Check 19 or 20.
He was up there, but...
While you're checking that, I just also want to say that shout outs to Southeast Disc Golf, because 2 Georgia and a Florida guy on the board, and Emerson Keith, not really a Southeast guy, but a Texas guy, and then Isaac's right there as well. So something about Southeast Disc Golf in the woods pays off. So what I'm truly trying to say is, Taylor, you should be a better woods player.
I try, man. Ezra Aderhold also has not won on the Pro Tour.
Stop it. I swear he won Las Vegas.
Oh, Tyler. Big dog wanted to take back his... I mean, yeah, he's still not a Georgia golfer, but you could say we're equally wrong.
He was second, I think. I think Eagle won that year. He was up there at the end, though.
We're equally wrong, we could say. That would make us, right there.
I was talking about Georgia people, and you threw out Aderhold out of nowhere.
Yeah,
Ezra has finished second in Vegas twice.
Dang.
Out of nowhere. That actually does
21 and 23.
Unfortunate.
That's pretty rough.
Yeah.
Is that tournament usually in February? Yeah.
Yeah.
He finished second in 21. Dang. And he got 12th, and he really hasn't been on tour that long. I mean, I only have things from 2019.
Yeah.
I don't know if I mentally realized that he got second at Jonesboro this year.
Yeah.
That's when like people were like, or I'll say Matt was like, oh, Aderhold. And then Matt started picking him, and then boo.
Where'd he go, man? I don't know.
He gone, man.
He started making those zesty comments in every single video he was in. If you watch his last 10 videos, he's just like, man, this tournament would be so much better if chicks were here, man. It's the most yes. He's sitting in a chair next to Aaron Goss. He goes, we got these chairs, this super nice tournament. Imagine if we had some chicks. And he said it like 4 videos in a row.
All he has to do is
Dude,
take his
calm
shirt off,
down.
dude.
Because he's hilarious.
Man knows what he wants.
It is funny though. I'll give it that.
Man knows what he wants.
Open question: is anyone concerned for Gannon Burr going into Worlds?
No.
Dude, bro, he had a bad thing. He had a bad tournament, and he still finished like 8th place or something, right? Yep, tied for 8th. Yeah, we're chilling.
He probably didn't care too much. That would be my guess.
It's a good problem to have when shooting 1030 is 20 points below your rating. That's
crazy.
That's a good problem to have.
Yeah, 1035 for the tournament. Yo, Joel Freeman back in the top 10.
Shout out.
Dude.
Big up there.
Yeah, also, just for all the fans that have been following, Luke Humphrey is not getting in the top 5, but being right there.
A couple extra grays right in here. Right in
Man.
here. Watch
So
that down
close.
the stretch.
I mean, he's the only thing I'm living for the rest of this season. Is like I'm on Luke Humphrey's watch.
I'll put it out
every
there.
time-
If Luke Humphrey, I will not only give Matt my points since that's sketchy for the point system. I will also buy and bag a Luke Humphrey signature disc if he finishes in the top
Holy
5 this year.
The
No,
A5.
no. You need to go out and buy those brown mid freaking iPath
yeah,
looking shoes.
Yeah. Luke Humphrey signature Vans.
Yeah, with the like alpaca fur inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have too many other.
Yeah. Anyone else
Comments,
have
I
any
was-
other big takeaways from Idlewild?
Joey Buckets is smooth, dude.
Yes.
He's
Facts.
good. Yeah.
Facts.
Tyler,
No,
I hate. Go ahead.
No,
Taylor,
I
go
was just
for it.
saying I love Idlewild. I feel like it really Idlewild kicks
My
off
favorite.
a stretch of like my favorite part of the tour. So like
Yeah.
I'm just now super excited for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
I'm in there.
Yep.
Yeah. I think next week when we talk about, what our 2025 season will look like, I'm keeping a lot of the courses that are on the East Coast. So,
Yeah. Tyler, I have to give you respect though, because at the beginning of the year, Joey Buckets had a couple hot starts, and I said Joey Buckets had hot starts, and you said a couple of these tournaments we're at, they're wooded players, and these younger guys can scrap around. And hey,
Yeah.
man, he's on a wooded course. He scrapped around, kept it smooth, and took a
Scrapped
W,
around and
so-
found out.
Mhm.
yeah, I could see him shooting up a really good score at New London. We'll see. I'm
I could see
really
him doing well at Maple Hill too. I feel like
Yeah.
that's a course that he could play really well.
really disappointed hearing about all of the OB they've taken out at New London. It doesn't even feel like it's a tough track anymore. So,
Yeah.
Who do you think is gonna win?
we're going to go
World's
straight
picks.
to that.
World's picks. Let's go real quick.
All right, let's do it.
Oh. Wait, don't we have another week before
We do.
Worlds?
We do.
do.
I was gonna say,
But we
just-
could
just
give
to rip
you-
one out real quick.
Yeah, just rip one out.
Okay.
I-
Who do
here's the thing.
who do you actually think is gonna win? No picks, no nothing, just
Yeah, because
gut feeling.
we're not all going to be able to pick our favorite maybe and our picks.
Yeah.
My gut feeling, honestly, like immediately off the rip, Ricky Wysocki.
That's
Get that
that's
rib back
interesting.
in.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan, so I know it's already working against me. It's Paul's course. I mean, can you imagine? And Ricky hasn't won a major in a while. He's playing well. He popped the rib back in. He's good. I mean, can you imagine like Ricky winning at Paul's course? I mean, legendary.
Fire.
Yeah.
Fires him up, I bet.
I've got it.
I'm going Chris Dickerson.
Chris Dickerson. That's
Yeah.
I can see Chris. I like
I
that
can see
pick.
that happen. I gotta say, Paul. Even though I'm a known Paul unenthusiast, when you built the course, like you got to go in for that. I also say Simon because like I said, I think he'll dominate. He can dominate the open course, and I think he can do really well in New London. Taylor.
I
Your
don't
pick.
like my pick, but I just have a feeling, man. I have a feeling Calvin's going to win.
There's so many guys.
I think this was going to be my sell, but I'm just going to go into my buy sell right here. I think people are way overblowing the Paul design New London. This is going to be Paul's
too.
Worlds. It's only 2 of the rounds of 5. And
Yeah.
I think Ivy
Yeah,
is so much different than New London that it's not. I mean, obviously it's going to contribute. Like, there will be people that shoot themselves out of the tournament at New London, but they are not going to win the tournament at New London. And I think,
Also-
I don't know, like, I think just the law of averages, like, It's crazy to think that Calvin's been like an established player for so long to me, just because he feels like one of the newer guys, but he's been so good for so long. It's crazy that he has not won a big tournament. So I don't know. He's got to put it together at some point. I guess he doesn't have to, but it seems like he has to.
Also, I need to bring up Scott is nowhere to be seen in the chat, so pour one out for Scott.
Everybody pour some out for Scott.
Yep. Because Scott would have been all over that Matt take about Paul Macbeth winning, and he's not here to defend it.
He's a hater on that. No, listen, I can opt out of that. It definitely doesn't hurt my take that Paul has been playing pretty well in the last couple weeks. That definitely helps me out.
No, I mean, historically, betting on Paul to do well at Worlds is not a bad bet at all.
I will say, I think it is crazy for those of us who played New London or seen hole 1 without that. Foundation's been yapping it up like crazy, but hole 1 without the OB on the right side is straight up a giant flex.
It's a game changer, and you can throw a forehand shot there and not worry,
because there's so much space to the right of the basket. You can throw a flex forehand, it'll skip past the basket, and then you just throw an up shot. You're throwing an uphill putt, it's not going to go very far. After the fact, that's actually the insane.
Yeah,
it doesn't makes the putt way less scary as well.
Yeah,
like even if you do finish less.
Doesn't have any teeth. I hate that they're doing it. So.
Did anybody know why? Has anybody heard why they're taking, like, why are they making a course easier for the World Championships?
From my understanding, the reason all that stuff on the right is OB is because, like, it's a conservation area that you're not supposed to be in. But then the PDJ was like, we just decide what we want to do and just said we're not going to follow those rules. So that's, like, why it was there. But Paul kind of designed it around that, I guess. And making the holes difficult, and now the PDJ is like, we don't care, man. Kill the
somebody needs to call up Dougie Bjerkes and tell him he's screwing up.
Maybe so.
Who's considered the TD at Worlds? Does anyone know?
I believe Nathaniel Heinold.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Yeah, I don't know. I've also heard that Paul's hand has been in a lot of the design at Ivy Hills as well.
Yeah, I've heard that as well.
But I mean, listen, there's so many different storylines about who should be winning, who could win, all that kind of stuff. I think all of it is very, any one of those guys.
And Andrew Presnell hitting up his Grand Slam starting out.
Okay, I will say that. I want to say this. I don't want to get too deep into the Worlds discussion because we still have next week, but I'm actually going to be very disappointed if a no-name guy wins Worlds. Well, not no-name, but I'm talking like because it's going to feel like a fluke, and you don't want Worlds to feel like a fluke. You want it to feel like the best player won Worlds.
Yeah.
So I hope it's a big time guy.
Yeah, me too.
Corey looks like he wants to say something. I was going to say Corey wants chaos.
So do you think that if a quote unquote no name guy blasts through and beats all of the main guys that you're talking about, then that's a fluke? Or did they just play really, really good?
It's a fluke that they played well that week.
How?
You could just throw at anyone who hasn't been playing that well this year, and then all of a sudden they pop off this week.
Okay, Paul Macbeth.
No, he's been playing well. I'm talking like someone like he's maybe played well over in Europe. I'm talking like somebody like really random, like Chandler Fry. Like if Chandler Fry won, like that would be like I would feel like a fluke.
Shout out to Chandler Fry playing full Idlewild with hemorrhoids, man. Blessed.
Yeah.
Gosh dang.
Prayers.
I mean, like you could put out like a couple names, like Sullivan Tipton would be another one. Like I want to see like a guy who has been there and wins those moments. That's what I'm looking for. I want one of those guys to win. That would be me.
Yeah, I guess there's an interesting discussion, which would probably not the goal of the pod, to compare like how we want that to happen versus how we want the Tour Championship to happen in a similar layout. Right? Tyler's asking the top players win this event, and the idea of the Tour Championship is the top players get an advantage to win that event.
Now, listen, I will say if my boy Nathan Queen just pops out of nowhere and wins, like.
Biggest fluke ever. That'd be the biggest fluke ever.
Yeah, maybe we should pop right into buy sell.
Let's pop right into buy sell. I agree.
I'm selling Tyler.
That's fine.
Oh heck no, dude.
That's fine.
I already said my sell, so I'll say it again. Yeah, I'm selling the hype that because Paul designed New London, that he's going to win World.
Okay, I respect it.
But that's what I'm selling.
Matt, you got one?
Yeah, I'm selling Lone Star, bro. You guys see that post from Chandler Kramer today? That's a tough post. For those of you who did not see, in the middle of Idlewild, Chandler Kramer gets dropped from Lone Star after he was dropped from Lone Star, brought back on for half a deal, dropped from Lone Star, and told that they need the van back that he's been traveling in ASAP. And so he has to give away the van, take all of his crap that he owns out of the van, and then play the final round or something like that. Gosh dang, that's just a ratchet move. Like, what in the world? How is Lone Star looks at these things and can't like make the logical decision that no one is going to use the van in the next 3 days, and this is going to look terrible in the media for us. Like, do they not understand how public perception works? Like, it's insane.
But aren't the people that own the company like wealthy oil people? So maybe they don't really care about public perception in the end. I don't know. Maybe they don't. That could be valid. Yeah, I mean, they got Nico LaCastro as their pointing boy. So yeah, that is true. Nico, if you heard this, don't come find me and kill me.
He will fight you.
Dude, I'll fight him.
I'll be a D-Glow, so just find me.
Where Ricky Wysocki isn't helping a falling baby.
Corey, yeah. I've got a big one that I'm gonna go into, so I'm gonna leave it up to you if you want to go before me.
For yourself?
I had one. Can't remember what it is. I'm selling.
Got too worked up about it.
Besides for Tyler.
Got too worked up about it, you know?
No. It's because I thought of it, and then we took 45 minutes to get on the actual pod, so I don't remember what it was.
Hey man. What are you selling? Where are you dodging?
I'm selling.
Do you want me to go?
I don't know. Yeah, you go.
All right. So I'm selling the Disc Golf Pro Tour playoffs. So today I was on Instagram and I saw Scotty Scheffler, number one golfer in the world, say, sorry, I just saw the comment from Brixton in the chat. Made me chuckle. He says, don't say Brixton. Oh, man. All right, so Scotty Scheffler, number one player in the world, he said that he doesn't like how they have their playoff system where they get all these points, and then it really comes down to who's winning these events at the end of the season to really put themselves in the position to win all of the sum of money. Usually it's like $15 to $17 million you win for winning the playoffs for golf. And we have adopted the same system. And what he said was, he says, it doesn't make any sense. I play well all season long. I get this big lead. Let's say I hurt myself and I can't play. And all of a sudden I'm out of all that money and all that opportunity to play at the end of the season and win that pot of money, essentially, is what it comes down to. But the reason why golf has this playoff system is because there's no more majors at this point in the year. So nobody really cares to watch golf. So they made this playoff system so people would still want to be interested in watching golf because of the suspense of coming down the stretch. In disc golf, our situation's a little different. And essentially what I'm trying to say is I think I agree. It's flawed. I don't like it. I want to have the overall guy win it. Maybe we have a different type of event at the end of the season where we could have something that creates some interest, but I feel like no one really cares about the playoff system that we have in disc golf anyways. It's too complicated for most people to understand or really care to follow. So I think we should do away with it. I'm done with it. I'm selling it.
Okay.
Respect.
Corey, what's your sell?
I'm selling everyone jumping on the same trends when it comes to plastic or stamping or any of that stuff. I really like very minimal basic stamps, especially for stock run discs.
Me too.
I don't know if you guys saw, but the Meteor and I believe the
Scorch
are getting like, I mean, it's a limited run, but it's like a 2 or 3 foil stamp where they take the original one and then they just add to it. And it does look cool, especially with multicolor foils, but everyone's already done that. And I think they're just kind of doing that to try and sell more of their stock run because they probably have a lot. They had the Scorch come out and everyone loved it. And then they came out with like 9 other drivers and fairway drivers that are basically the same. I just saw Kevin throw the Cicada like twice as far as any of his distance drivers. So he's like, I might as well just only throw that. So there's no point in throwing something like a Scorch.
Yeah.
But overcrowded foils definitely, like, I don't know. They rub me wrong.
Yeah.
So
and I do like the Meteor foil, by the way, but you're right. If I want I want a stock stamp,
but yeah.
I'm not a big enthusiast of the Scorch one, but yeah, I respect it. I agree with you.
I really love Prodigy style of stamp they have now, like, or at least the old one with the like a little bar stamp one that Prodigy had. I think it's one of my favorite stock stamps that they used to have back in the day.
Yeah.
So I'm with you on that. What are we buying this week?
It's a great question.
Anybody passionate about their buy?
Oh, I'm passionate about my buy. Here's my buy.
There it is.
I'm buying Innova Discs. You want to know why? Because everyone wants to talk about how Joey Buckets just won, and they're like, I've heard multiple comments on this, like, Castaplast is pretty good. If you don't know, Castaplast allows their pros to throw 2 molds not from Castaplast. And do you know what Joey Buckets throws? Destroyers and Firebirds.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, it's still winning the events.
Yeah, I think it was Andrew Presnell in an old Reddit thread, or it was sometime this year, with like a Reddit question was brought up, like, if any pro could bag one disc that was not of their manufacturers, what do you think the most popular mold would be? And Andrew Presnell chimed in and said every pro would throw a Halo Destroyer, and it's like not even close. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Destroyer is so good. I put the DD3 back in my bag. I let you guys know that, and I threw it today. And very similar to a Destroyer, maybe a little less stable. So I think the DD3 is like the people's Destroyer, in my opinion. Destroyer is so good. I mean, when I was trying to think about like a forehand disc I could get as like a bomber, I immediately was like, all right, I got to put a Destroyer back in the bag. Yep. So why that disc is so much more consistent than everyone else's?
That was crazy. Like, when did the Destroyer get PDJ approved?
I want to say 04 would be my guess.
I'm going to say 8 for some reason. I feel like that's...
I will say, I think the
2007.
time lapse could probably rally it, because time lapses you can get pretty dang stable. But obviously,
not consistent.
Years. Not consistently stable. Like, all the neutron ones I've heard are mad stable.
I'm saying, like, you can't throw that disc consistent. Even Simon has a hard time throwing his time lapse consistent, which is why he doesn't throw it that often. He throws the dimension.
That's awesome.
Be released this year from MVP, Dementia.
I've been doing some research on dementia for somebody. Oh, man.
That's...
I mean, I went up to their computer and I'm like, bro, why are all of these links already blue? So, anyways, a bad joke.
I'm buying less stable discs this week. I don't know. I think it's because I can actually throw with a hyzer release on a forehand now, but I have found myself more and more just not throwing like the dumb overstable stuff I used to bag, and just like a nice little neutral glidey guy with a more of a pushing fade is just way better in my opinion than something that's just gonna dump.
So I have not thrown my Gorgon on like a hyzer angle for a hyzer flip, and there's this one hole that's like 385 in our course. It's through the woods, so it's a low ceiling, and I was like, I'm gonna throw this Gorgon, I'm throwing on some little bit of hyzer and see what happens. I threw the absolute greatest hyzer flip I've ever thrown in my entire life, and I was like, so I'm full on board with what you're saying. I love throwing a little bit less stable stuff. But when it picks up wind, it sucks.
That is true. When do
It's
we
just
do
like,
things?
It's like sayonara, dude, as soon as the wind catches it. But Corey, you have a buy or no?
Maybe.
Yeah. I think I'm buying the least amount of discs, the better.
I'm saying, man.
I'm with you on that too.
Focusing on your bag, focusing on tournaments, focusing on anything. Just put the least amount that you can. If you can look at a disc in your bag and be like, I don't know what that's for, or I only pull that out for X occasion, and then you look back and you're like, I've only thrown that once this year on that specific occasion, take it out of your bag.
Yeah.
Just take it out of your bag.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm pulling stuff out of my bag left and right now whenever I can.
Yeah.
I think I'm down to 19, and I got 2 putters.
I think I'm at 19 as well.
But you have 1 putter.
Built different.
Yeah.
Built different.
What he's throwing, but
I'm with you on there. I'll get straight to it. My buy, saving a haymaker for the end. I'm buying that this Worlds is going to be a bust. I don't think it's going to be as great as what we all hope it to be, with being at Paul's course and everything. As Taylor was saying about with the build up to Paul's course, Paul's going to win. I think there's going to be some disappointments. I hope not, but I just feel like Ivy Hills, or whatever they're calling it, is not going to be as great as a course as what they hoped. I think people are going to shoot really well there, and I think it's going to end up being a shootout. I think New London, I think people are going to shoot 9, 10, 11 under at New London too, and I think the score for Worlds is going to be really, really high. And for me, I wish New London play harder. I don't think it will. So I think it's going to be a bust. So
I'm already concerned about, I don't know if you guys have seen all the nonsense about like don't bring your phones into New London, all that. I have a bad feeling the broadcast is going to struggle out there as well.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest, dude. I might be going to New London on Saturday for the tournament. I'm bringing my phone in, dude. I'll be nice enough to put it on airplane mode, but I'm bringing my phone in.
You don't even have to put it on airplane mode. You just got to turn off the cellular.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that'll help. So you can still get text, emails, and that stuff, but you won't get all the media stuff on your phone.
I feel like concerns about that should be like one of the first things we check when we're gonna be planning. This once again mirrors somebody's take from Griplock. I don't remember who said it, which my bad, but like level 1 stuff here is like, can we even like live stream this event from this location? That should exist way before anything else on that course. But yeah, that's weird. I don't love that.
Yeah.
I don't see why, like, there's a box at my work because there's a lot of times where we go into factories, there's no service. We bought a box that is just a wireless hotspot. Why can't we just hang those everywhere in the woods to where we can actually like send and receive live data? It's not hard.
I think the difference being that box probably pulls cellular data from a nearby cell tower, whereas we're dealing with areas.
Oh, I forgot New London was just in the middle of the Gobi Desert. Like it's still in Lynchburg, Virginia. I had no issues with cell service out there.
Famously, the property it's on has to use Starlink because they can't even get service. And there's a big fact. Like,
I don't think that's famously at all.
Well, not famously, but I'm saying this.
I never heard of that.
Sorry, I should say
this information is well known.
Starlink is not well known, but I'm saying the fact
that you didn't know this.
They struggle with this until Starlink came around. Like, even they're cooked, and they're a technical facility. Also, Griplog mentioned this, but I remember looking it up when I was looking up stuff about the course. So I think they're just cooked regardless.
I don't think you understood why I said not famously. We all know what Starlink is.
No, I know that, but I'm saying that factory. You guys don't know about that factory.
You guys aren't built in that factory.
But apparently they also have trouble with it. So that's the cooked part of someone that has to use it for business 365 days a year or whatever, also struggles and can't seem to find a way around it and is using a subpar solution.
I don't buy it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a difference even still in a company's Wi-Fi needs and broadcasting.
Oh yeah, that's that as well.
Terabytes of high definition video data.
Yeah, you're right.
Infrastructure, man, it's a wild thing.
It is wild.
Well, there's our buy sells. I think the only really other thing we had scheduled here tonight was just some random questions. I think everybody brought a question to pose to the group, and I also like Chatter's question here. Let's actually get to this first with the Worlds talk. We got the question of who would have the biggest impact winning Worlds in the disc golf world.
It's not a no name, that's for sure.
For me, I'm thinking about like it would be an old dog. It'd be an old dog that has kind of floated away. So it'd be like I don't know.
Greg Barsby. That's what I was thinking too.
For me, I mean, my first thought selfishly was Kevin Jones.
That would be huge. I feel like
I don't think that's
like,
a bad take.
Like throws for Innova used to be really good. A lot of people used to root for him. Like
the
it's hard to say.
That would spin around Prodigy would just be a nightmare, dude.
Can you imagine? I mean, it would be kind of funny if Isaac won it again. Yeah. You know, that would be really, really funny in my opinion.
I don't think you guys are thinking of this correctly.
Can I say my answer first before you judge me?
Yeah.
My answer is Gannon.
Wrong.
I think Gannon would fully shift us into like the time is now old man territory of like the new boys are here.
Yeah. What do you think, Corey?
Yeah, sorry, Corey.
Well, the question is, who would have the biggest impact on the disc golf world? Brody Smith.
Ooh, wow.
If Brody Smith won Worlds, there will be another million disc golfers that weren't playing the day before.
That's probably true.
That's a great answer.
There's a huge blow up for the. I'm not talking about the world that we have now. How is it going to impact disc golf as a whole? And he's the one that's going to blow it up so much because he already has, tens of thousands of people watching him open cards?
Yeah, dude. All the sports card people are coming over after that.
Yeah.
And you know, Brody, he's going to win the tournament on Sunday and pop a new sports card video out on Monday. That's how it goes.
That's just how it is.
No, they're going to come up for the interview, and he's going to be like, check this out.
Ripping packs.
Could you imagine, like, okay, so it would impact the world, but, like, can you imagine what it would impact, like, the disc golf world? Like, people would lose their minds.
Yeah. That would be a fun timeline to Brody Smith wins Worlds.
What would his commemorative Worlds disc be called though? It's got to be a get something. Like get freaky, get beefy.
This is actually a great question.
What is it?
I don't know. I don't know.
I have to think about this.
This would be so funny. There's so many funny results here, but I can't think of a single one.
Yeah, Taylor has a good one too. It's not appropriate for this.
It's all my brain can think of now.
Yeah.
No, that would actually be hilarious. It would also be crazy in the season. In the season where he went from last season, he like lost 20 pounds, was jacked, was like, I'm changing this season. And then this season, all he's done is open sports cards and he still takes a W. That would be insane. Hasn't played well at a single tournament.
Is he playing Worlds?
Early, right?
I would say he has to be, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think that question was pretty much knocked out of the park by Corey.
What a good answer, man. What a good answer.
Wait, Corey's got good answers, guys, by the way.
What a smart fellow that is.
What a smart fellow, Corey.
He signed up.
Okay.
I mean, blind squirrel has to find the nut.
Corey, are you bold enough to put him as your dark horse? Or no?
I genuinely hope he pops off round 1. Like Brody's just like T3rd round 1.
As long as you guys allow me to, I will lock in Brody Smith for my dark horse.
Is he? I thought he was outside of the top 40.
It's got to be outside the top 100.
Yeah, at this point, brother has to be. I feel like he also hasn't played that many events, so that probably.
No. I meant like I'm pre-locking in.
Oh yeah.
That he's my dark horse.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine, man.
All right, cool.
Of
course he'd be my dark horse.
If he gets you points, if he's your dark horse and then he wins the event, well, how many points does this boy even get?
12 points.
Yeah, he's a major, so he gets. What do you get?
So
I don't even remember.
I'm going down the list. I don't even see him in the top 100. So
that's my boy.
You guys
this
buy
is
one
Corey's
of the,
god.
Do you guys buy one of the MacBooks?
Oh, Brody's
63.
Brody's 63.
Okay.
Wait, say that again, Taylor.
You guys buy one of the MacBooks he was selling to help out St. Jude though, over on Twitter?
Yeah, dude.
What?
I bought.
I don't have money.
I got
They're
2
on
of
the
them.
way.
I'm still waiting. Yeah, I'm still waiting for the
me too,
confirmation
but-
on that.
It's good, man. It'll help out folks. So
Good cause.
why would I?
So
not?
Brody is 63. If you guys heard me or not.
All
in
right,
the world.
so Corey can lock him in.
I mean, he could have been anywhere. I'd still let you lock him in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Matt had a question that he was very excited to ask us. So the time is now, young man. This is your time.
Here's my question, and you guys have to take this question seriously. Is okay, in this scenario, there's a giant spider. Is the spider scarier if it's the size of a basketball or if it's the size of a car?
Do you want a realistic
I
answer?
want a realistic answer.
Basketball.
I agree. I 100% agree with
Yeah,
you.
I'm gonna say basketball.
Why?
Because it won't be able to move that well with that much mass.
yeah, a car-sized
It's
spider
still
can't move
jumping.
fast.
It's still
But a basketball-sized one?
Okay.
Holy crap, you're cooked.
For someone who is terrified of spiders, the car would terrify me more.
I feel like there are spiders
Just
that
because
at
it's
least is
bigger.
similar size to a basketball.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the discussion, but bigger is not always better.
Did I see?
Was it hawk spiders?
The Goliath bird-eating
bird-eating.
spider.
Okay, Matt, did I
Huge,
hear recently that the tarantula might be starting to become native to Maryland?
Where did you hear that from, dude? Maybe by you little freaks by this ocean, dude, not by us.
Okay, I was scrolling on Facebook for a minute today, and I saw a picture of a tarantula. I quickly swiped because I cannot look at it, but I saw the text, and it says, could be coming into your area. You're going to have to look that up and let me know because I can't look it up.
I mean, someone dropped off an alligator in the lake that's right next to Toboggan. That
Really?
doesn't mean they're native.
Someone also allegedly dropped off an alligator at our lake. Someone really dropped off a shark at our lake too, like a couple years ago. But
Really?
a long time ago, actually. Someone said this will be funny, but that thing died.
You put a shark in the lake?
Yeah.
That's
Fun
not
fact.
funny.
Bunch of
Fun
fake
fact.
ones, but one real one. I believe there's one real story of some guy coming from Ocean City who said, I'm going to drop one off, and then scared the locals for like 3 weeks, and it just died because it wasn't the environment it was supposed to be in.
Yeah.
Fun fact,
Piranha-
there have
pir-
been bull sharks found in the Great Lakes.
Really?
Because they're one of the only sharks that can somehow
yeah.
transition from saltwater to freshwater, and they just made it up the canal. And
Fun fact, when I lived in Nashville, we had a really bad storm and it flooded a bunch of places, and it flooded Opry Mills, and they had like the Rainforest Cafe and all that stuff. So there were piranhas just in the Nashville River from the flood. Just rolling.
That's awesome.
It was like a terrifying couple weeks, man.
That's what I was about to say is piranhas can survive the fresh water. So if you put piranhas in fresh water, it's a game over.
Yeah.
I thought they were freshwater.
Quite frank, I don't know much about piranhas. Not really
Not
my
a
area of
piranha
expertise.
enthusiast. I can't.
I've seen a piranha eat meat before in a tank, and I'm like, that's more terrifying than a shark.
Maybe so. Yep. Maybe so. And that was my question. I just want to know the answer. I'm glad that there are two sane people among us and one Tyler Tulowitzki.
Dude, terrified of spiders, man. I almost lost my leg when I was like 10 years old with a spider bite. I just don't play with it.
All right, respect
that. Respect that. Don't come play the course by me. Holes like 13 and 14 are like Aragog's lair there, man. It's terrifying.
Dude, I can't even. Yeah. Taylor, you said you had a question.
I do have a question. Mine is disc golf related, unfortunately. I just want to poll the group just because I'm curious. We don't talk about our own disc golf games anymore. What right now would you say is the shot that you are most confident in your disc golf game? I asked this because I was playing today and came up to a hole from the shorts where like I just had to hit a gap and throw to him straight, like 250, 260. And I'm just like, there's no shot that I'm just more confident stepping up to. Like in my brain, I'm like, I'm so good at this, bro. And then I hit the first tree, but you know, happens.
That's how it is.
Just kidding. I made a birdie.
Very nice. Tyler, you want to start us off?
I can. Probably like. I mean, if we're gonna put a little bit of difficulty onto it, probably like the 300 to 330, like little hyzer flip forehand shot, like through a tunnel shot. I'll say 300. I've got that down pretty well. Like I could step up to it and see the line and see the tunnel shot and not think for a second, like, oh gosh, hopefully I don't hit something. Like the Sexton Firebird, a little bit of hyzer and pop up and ride straight. Yeah. That's just something I've got on lock.
That's sick. Corey, what's your shot here?
Corey's
answer is after he misses a putt with a zone in his hand within 100 feet of the basket. That thing is rocketing into the chains, bro.
What I was going to say is forehand accuracy.
Yeah.
There was a couple double mandos that I had to play. Well, not had to, but I played when I was. Where was I last?
With Robbie?
Yeah, I was in Alabama. There was a couple courses that had some double mandos where it was very narrow trees. The course itself was pretty wide open, but these specific shots were it was maybe like a 250-foot hole and 180, 190 out were trees that felt like they were like 5 feet apart. Well, every single time I would go backhand, mentally wasn't there. I was like, yeah, I might be able to make this, but it's not like, I don't know if I'm going to make it. But if I'm standing forehand because I'm standing forward, it's just like, point and shoot. And then obviously second shot at the basket, it's very easy to just like rip one at 90 miles an hour.
90 miles an hour into the chains. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll say mine is forehand distance shot or relative distance shot. My forehand was like dog water like 3 weeks ago, like terrible. Couldn't throw it 150 feet. And then Corey was like, hey, I think you should do this. And then Overthrow made like a setup video, and I watched both of them. We're just locked in and just added like 125 feet to my forehand distance in like a week and a half, which is pretty nice. Unfortunately, I needed it for the tournament that I played last weekend, and I didn't have any accuracy with it, so I couldn't throw it during any tunnel shots. And would have just birdied holes that I double bogeyed. But in the out far shots are good. So yeah, that's me.
Just so anyone has like any I can't even speak tonight, dude. I'm so like
it's probably that picture I just sent you.
Yeah, I was gonna say when I said F you to Corey sent me a picture of a spider, and I immediately was like, come on, dude.
Awesome.
It was I'm a big like spider guy. Like I like seeing them and like trying to figure out what they are. And when I was in Myrtle Beach playing a course, there was a spider that was like legitimately this, just like chilling right next to the path.
I'll tell you, you should come play the course next to me. You would definitely enjoy it.
I'm okay with the little spiders in my house. Like I can deal with those, but like I'll tell you what, I was in Belize it was a long time ago now. It was 5 or 6 years ago. And they had some tarantulas running around there that I could see. And a tarantula was crawling on my bag. And I had to get someone else to check my bag. And I had to believe them that there was no tarantula in there because they were like, I don't know, I checked, but I don't know. I think, and so I was so paranoid I didn't put that book bag on like the whole rest of the trip.
This tarantula's gonna come crawling out of there,
dude. Can't do it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a very big spider fan. I don't know why this summer, all of a sudden, this course has only been in for like a year and a half. But this summer, dude, there are just orb weavers back on like the back nine, just everywhere.
How?
Big
boys. How?
Honestly, though, if they
where do you see these?
If they get like a fifth of the population of gnats in Alabama, or at least this area, bring them, bro. Bring more orb weavers. Do not care.
Yeah,
he's done with it.
Mine's kind of like a two-part question. Has to do with like your own disc golf game. So the first part of the question is, what speed disc do you rarely or hardly or do not throw at all? And then I want you to say why that disc would benefit you if you actually threw that speed.
Ooh, I have an answer. So I've actually been thinking about this a lot recently. I do not throw 7 speeds at all, basically.
Interesting.
I think that's a pretty well-known thing, at least in my game. I throw Famously 9 speeds a ton because I love them. I think that, similar to Starlink, me and 7 speeds, I think that a big part of that would be less just horizontal movement of the disc. Like if I could probably throw a 7 speed for the same shots I'm throwing my 9 speeds and not have to think I need to give this more hyzer so it'll flip, or this is going to work right and then back and flex more, whereas a 7 speed will stay truer just kind of as a straight shot. So I've been trying to work the Exodus and stuff into my game more.
What I like about the 7 speed is that you can manipulate the 7 speeds so much easier than the 9 speeds or like the 10 speeds.
It's true, like more of a faster mid than slower drive.
Yeah. And I can throw a T-bird just as far as I can throw like a Undertaker. So interesting. So how would a 7 speed benefit your game? I missed that.
I think I wouldn't have to think as much about like the horizontal shaping of a shot with a 7 speed, where it'll just kind of maybe move a little bit, but mostly straight and finish straight, whereas 9 speeds are more likely to drift either way.
Got it. Anyone else want to answer?
I don't have an answer for this.
That's really?
Great. Well, okay, there are certain numbers that I don't bag, like a 7 or a 9 or an 11, but I bag a 6, 8, 10, 12. So it's almost like I don't know if I would benefit because it would be the number. No, that just happened coincidentally. Like I went from 7 speed strikes to 8 speed pipeline. Yeah, like I don't throw an 11 because the era goes just as far as my 12 speeds. So it's like there's not really one of those numbers that I don't bag that I feel like I already get the benefit from something either right above or right below.
If there was a speed that you don't bag now, what speed would you bag next?
I think it would be maybe 11 or 9. 9 or 11, super flippy. Never forget.
Never forget.
Love that.
Yeah. Something super flippy, 9 or 11. Maybe a heat or a sail. Like somewhere in that group to where it would be kind of a get out of jail free card, but also could potentially have some crazy shot shapes that I could use, especially since I lost the F9. So
you lost the F9?
I lost the F9. Yeah, you must have missed it. I was with Robbie C. I had a really, really good, like out of the left rough, like forehand flip, going towards the basket, past the basket, past the alt pin basket.
Oh no!
And we looked for like a good 20 minutes, and it is just gone. I have a strong feeling that it just carried all the way down the mountain.
It just kept going. Oh, yeah. I missed that somehow.
I vaguely heard that, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm the only one that must have heard it then.
Dang. I'll say the exact opposite of Taylor. I think I need to bag 9 speeds. And And I think I don't. I think I bag 7 speeds and I bag like 10 speeds because I see a significant change in distance for those. But I think I could just bag 9 speeds, not have to worry about nose angle and getting them up to speed as much, and get almost the same distance as my 11 speeds or 10 speeds. So I'm the opposite of Taylor, but I just haven't found any 9 speeds I really like other than Firebird. So
interesting. For me, like I don't bag, and I think it could really benefit me, like a 14 speed. No, I'm just kidding.
Where's the 15 at, bro?
Yeah, I know, boys. Right? We need a.
Never know.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking about like what speed disc I've never bagged, like ever. And it's got to be the 6 speed. Now, I've bagged a Crave that's a 6.5 speed, but it really throws like a 7 speed. But I've never bagged a 6 speed. Like I feel like that's like a disc that not a lot of people throw, not a lot of people make. I know the Squall is a 6 speed, and I know that Corey might be throwing that or has thrown that. What do you want to say?
Zombie and the Squall,
yeah.
And then also the Extreme. So
the
both
Extreme
both
is 6
sides,
speed?
both sides of the
Extreme was faster.
Both sides of my bag have a 6 speed. No.
Interesting. Yeah, I've never bagged a 6 speed. I would think that if I wanted to find a disc that could get me 300 feet and not top that, I think a 6 speed would be pretty good. Like if I had a 300-foot shot, though, I knew that I did not want to throw further than 300 feet. I think the 6 speed could come in real handy. So Squall or the Zombie would probably be the next guy I would be looking to like throw in the bag. But yeah, never thrown a 6 before. I think it's just because not a lot of companies make that. It's either a 5 or a 7. So
if you're asking me, I'd say go Zombie. If you're asking Broderick, he'd say Squall.
He likes that DGA.
It's almost the same disc. Some might say it's literally identical, but
yeah,
depends on what name you like better at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Just was thinking. I think an honorable mention for me would be like a 1 speed, but I've thrown the Berg.
Yeah, he's done the glitch, right?
I used to bag the glitch. I took it out. It was screwing me up mentally with making a choice. But I do have it on my car. It's like my, fun disc to throw. But 1 speed is really nice. The Nexus, the Ursa, this guy right here.
I was going to say, I don't know if that would be a 1 or a 2.
I don't think it's considered a 1 speed, as you've mentioned, but I think it flies like a 1 speed. I really, truly think it does, because this tops off at like a certain distance it'll go, but it feels very glidey. So, yeah.
See, I don't know. What do I have it on? I have the Nexus in my 1 second. All discs.
I do love that thing though. Like you said, Tyler is just like, I don't need to go far with this, but I want to throw it real hard. That's the disc I'm going for.
It's so fun, dude.
Yeah, I have it as a 120.5.
Seems accurate.
I think we've discussed it. I would give it a little more glide in my opinion.
I think a little more glide.
Than that,
also,
I don't, because it's a disc that, like, if it loses its speed, it just falls.
Yeah, that's true.
You're right. I see that.
You're gonna have to make it go somewhere.
A 1 speed and a 2 glide, you can throw it hard and it'll go.
Yeah.
But I don't think it actually has glide. I think it just has like whatever you put on it.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as it gets to that point where there's nothing, it just drops.
1 fade as well. Or 0.5. I probably put.
I think mine fades. Yeah, I think this is a very stable run.
That's interesting. I think mine would be pretty neutral, but I don't know. Must be. I wonder how that works. 3D printed discs, it shouldn't necessarily be a bunch of stuff printed at once. I shouldn't be as specific as that, but like run to run. I mean,
yeah, it's interesting. I definitely think in my experience, the color of the plastic changes a lot with the 3D, because definitely like the black ones were not as gummy as the pink ones are. Those and the pink are definitely a lot more stable. I know the any of the NSH discs that I have that are in glow plastic as well are like very flippy, flip dog.
Interesting.
Yeah, that is actually really interesting. All right, we answered your question, Tyler.
Yeah. That was my question.
I think that's about all we had for tonight. Did you guys have anything else? Do you want breaking news to get off?
I'm really hoping you have a secret game that you didn't tell us about.
I wish, man. I wish I had a game. No, I was just going to say, if you guys are interested in a Squall or a Pipeline or any of the other discs that we were talking about, head over to foundationdisc.com, because as Matt reminded me to tell you, we have an affiliate link now. So we'll figure out how to put that in the bio of somewhere. But if you're interested in some disc golf products and don't mind helping us out a little bit, we got a little affiliate link for Foundation. Shout out to them. And we've got a super exciting show next week. We are, as kind of alluded to, Tyler's got a new Pro Tour schedule. I think Tyler and Corey have been cooking up a new tour for us next year. So I'm definitely super excited to see what stays, what's getting cut. So come check that out, as well as I'm sure we'll talk about Worlds a little bit. Super excited there. Yep. But tune in next week. We are Wednesdays at 8:45 now, 8:45 Eastern. I'm just going to adopt this time zone that everybody else has. And we'll see you then.
Bye, guys.
See ya.